Okay, I'm joined on the halfway line by manager Luke Garrard after a 2-1 defeat here at Eastbourne Borough. Luke, in at half-time, 1-0 up, concede twice in the second half, the second coming late on in the game. I imagine the sky probably matches your mood. What are your thoughts?
A lot of questions to be asked. We play a game against Hornchurch, very dominant, second half, get overrun. Very similar this afternoon. Willingness to go and do a job, to track your runner. Well open on the counter against, speak about it, have an attitude towards defending your box when it comes to dead balls. We know what Diarra's strengths are, and they go and get the first from it, and then you think, okay, settle back down, and then they go and get a breakaway goal from poor quality in the final third. I felt that I questioned them. There was a lot of home truths in the change room afterwards. I'm very cautious to what I say now, but I shouldn't be asking them questions of a group of players that fundamentally know what I'm about as a manager, to go and not win a duel, not win a second, not win a third, not win a fourth, get overrun in the latter stages of the game again. So yeah, a lot of questions I'll be asking the group this week.
And what were and where were the missing pieces of the puzzle today?
Our back line got overran. I felt that our quality back to front was poor. I felt that we weren't progressive in our battles in the middle of the park. I felt Odesanya for them was ever present, and like Rate on Wednesday night, he ran a game of football. And unfortunately, I've got a group of players in there that have been on a journey with me previously in the National League that at the minute are not following suit. I've got to be very cautious because my emotion at the minute is one of anger, one of frustration. I can lose a game of football. We're going to lose games of football. There's a manner in which you lose a game of football. And then I finish my talk, I could call it a talk, after the game, and then I start hearing people having an opinion. I don't hear any of our players on the pitch talk. And then when it comes to the game finishing, they all have an opinion. So I sit there and listen and think, imagine we had a voice on the pitch. So these are things that I need to address, because I can't have it that we've picked up 2 points in a week, going away to Western, playing at home to Hornchurch and going away to Eastbourne. That's not a side that wants to be competing at the top end of the table. And for me, that needs to be addressed. I have no issues of the level of performance next week against Leyton Orient. Why? Because we become the underdog. We have to raise our game. No, we need to be a team that raise our game to a level that the opposition can't get to. And I've not seen that in the last 3 games.
Yeah, you mentioned Leyton Orient, obviously arguably the biggest game of our season so far. We're going to need the ground rocking, obviously. What have you got to say to the fans ahead of that?
Oh, brilliant, yeah, but it's not the biggest game of our season. It's not the biggest game of our season. We don't need a cup run. And I say that, great making memories, we need to get back out of this division. That's the key. I've come back to do that with the club and the hierarchy. That was the aim. Great that we're playing Leyton Orient in the first round proper. I would forgo any of that cup run to be promoted back into the National League. That was what was stated when I come back. That was what was echoed to the players. My frustration is there's an excitement to a game. No, play the game today. Play the game on Wednesday. Play the game against Western last week. Make sure that we're doing more. And what does that look like? We're a professional team in the National South that train full-time. We should be fitter and stronger than oppositions. That's not an opinion. It's more contact time, more opportunity with S&Cs, more analysis, more training sessions. That's what should happen. So for me, that's my biggest disappointment, that we come out second half against Hornchurch and for whatever reason, the pressure comes back on top. Whether the players can't deal with pressure, whether that was last year in a relegation battle or this year in a potential promotion battle, that needs to be addressed. And I can't have it that they've got a core group of my players from last year playing a league below, and that's not a disrespect to the level in any way, shape or form. But for me, I can't have people being overrun. I can't have people not winning the duel, not competing. I can't have people allowing runners to run off. And yes, great. We've got Leyton Orient coming next Sunday. We'll prepare as we should do for a big game. Big game. It's not the biggest game. Not in my opinion. The biggest game was today against Eastbourne. Winning 3 points to climb the table because we needed to make up for the second half performance against Hornchurch. That was the biggest game. The biggest game is Farnborough, in my opinion, because that's what we're tasked to do, is to get promoted out of this division. And if we continue with that, then we're not going to be. And that's what I need to address with the hierarchy to maybe ruffle some feathers, because I need to know and understand, the group need to know and understand what the task is, and if we serve that up, they won't be here for that long.
Thank you, Luke.